Hello and welcome to The Chaos of Scale, the podcast dedicated to helping scaling businesses navigate the human side of growth. I'm your host, Andy Golding, and today we're talking about something that's equally simple and complex. We're talking about decompressing relentlessly. This episode is about the importance of switching off, about deliberately forcing a pause even when every nerve in your adrenaline-marinated body is telling you to keep going. Because in the chaos of scale, when everything feels urgent and everything feels important, it can start to feel like stopping, even for a moment, means that you're falling behind. But it's exactly the opposite. I know that this is going to be uncomfortable for a lot of people. Switching off. We have this stupid societal view that we should wear exhaustion and overworking as these proud badges of honor, that working relentlessly is somehow honorable. Short term, maybe this gets you further faster, but long term, it will break you mentally, physically, and in your most meaningful relationships. When things are busy and when deadlines are close, when the team needs you, when there's always one more email, one more Slack message, one more problem to solve, it's so easy to find yourself pushing and pushing and pushing until your brain feels like a spinning top. And for some silly reason, we've glorified working like this and wearing it proudly. Look how much I can handle, look how productive I am. But please, take it from someone who burnt herself out so badly that I spent a week quite literally staring at the walls of my apartment because I did not have the mental capacity to do anything else. And it took me weeks and weeks after that to find any sort of productivity again. If you don't decompress relentlessly, uncompromisingly, if you don't make rest and recovery as much a part of your rhythm as you do sprinting and hustling, your productivity will eventually turn to dust and you may find yourself staring at walls for a while. You cannot sprint a marathon. When I say decompress relentlessly, I mean switching off with intention, giving yourself permission to stop, to rest, to relax. I literally stop. I walk away, I give myself permission to pause. And that's what's so important. Give yourself permission to pause. And we've become terrible at that. I invite all the parts of myself, even the mean ones, that little voice in my head going, you haven't done enough to deserve a break. I invite them all to sit down on the couch with me. That little voice that says, oh, you're being lazy, you're not good enough, you're falling behind, other people are working harder than you. That little voice gets to come to. It can sit on the couch with me, it can crochet with me, it can watch TV with me, and I find that by inviting it to join the party and acknowledging its existence, it kind of loses its power and its volume. But the truth is, those intrusive, unconstructive thoughts usually come from a place of fear. Fear of not keeping up, fear of letting people down, fear of slowing down the momentum, fear of not being good enough, fear of never getting everything done. But fun fact, in a scale up, you will never have everything done. There's always more to do. There's always more urgent. There's always more crisis. But in the chaos of scale, slowing down is actually how you keep momentum. It's frustrating in the short term, and I know this because there is a part of me that gets annoyed, almost itchy when I stop. But when you give yourself permission to truly decompress, you're investing now in your long-term energy, in your long-term best thinking, and in your long-term capacity to deliver. You come back clearer, sharper, calmer, able to think more deeply, make better decisions. You treat people better. When we're all highly strung out and just at the edge of our tether, we're often not the nicest versions of ourselves. And when you think about it, that's really the productivity game. Marathon, not a sprint. We want to do this for the long term. We want to make impact for the long term. We want to grow this organization for the long term. So we have to play the long game on productivity to help us do that. Our third guiding principle here at the Chaos of Scale is lean on kindness. And that starts with being kind to yourself by playing that long game with your energy and with your passion. Preserve it. Don't frazzle it. And you know what? On some days, I wake up at 4 a.m. My brain is firing, the ideas are flowing, everything feels alive. And so I honor that too. I get up, make a cup of tea, start writing down my ideas, get some work done. Because that's part of my rhythm. That's me leaning into my natural energy. Okay, I didn't intend to wake up at 4 a.m., but here we are, the brain is alive. Let's do the thing. And when that happens, I also make a deal with myself. If I'm up and working at 4 a.m. getting meaningful stuff done, I get to take a break or a nap in the middle of the day. I have said to my team on a number of occasions, guys, I was at my laptop at 4 a.m. today, so at some point today I may take a nap or I'll close my laptop early just to go and rest and recover. This is me owning my human, which is our guiding principle for Own Your Human here at the Chaos of Scale. And this achieves two things. Firstly, it lets my team know what is reasonable to expect from me on this day. When we have a 10 a.m. meeting, but I've been at my laptop since 4, I've worked the better part of a day already, and you know by then that I haven't had much sleep. I've already done a ton of deep thinking work today, so curb your enthusiasm, manage your expectations, and know where I'm coming from. And it sets these very realistic expectations in the team of, okay, this is what she can deliver, this is how she can show up today. She's not really capable of more. But most importantly, it makes it safe for them to do the same thing. It makes it safe for them to own their own human and let me know, look, this is how I'm showing up today. I don't have the best to give. I didn't have a good night's sleep. My kid was awake all night, whatever it is. I know what I can expect from them. But we digress from decompressing relentlessly. Despite the hustle culture rah-rah, it's actually not about hustling harder. It's about pacing smarter. Decompression is not laziness, it's maintenance. And in the chaos of scale, it's so easy to overlook the importance of maintenance because it feels like maintenance will slow us down. But actually, maintenance is playing the long game. Maintenance keeps things running in the long term. Preventative maintenance. Fix it before it's broken to keep it running well for the long term. The people are your engine. You are the engine. Your brain, your energy, your empathy, that's the power source that keeps this organization, this machine running. And if you run that engine flat out, you don't just burn it out, you break the system around it. So if you want to play the long game on productivity, you have to balance the rhythm of sprint versus stillness. Sprint, recover, decompress relentlessly. Some people have naturally strong boundaries around taking breaks, pausing, and refueling, both physically and mentally. I had very strong boundaries, but switching off takes discipline and intention. And when I burned myself out, I lost my discipline and I lost my intention, and it led me to a week of staring at the walls because I was so empty, I could not do anything more. And for many weeks after that, my productivity was so low. And it took all of this time for me to realize the consequence of losing my discipline and losing my intentionality around decompressing. Switching off takes that discipline, and I'd fallen into the trap of sprint, run, giving zero space for actual recovery. And in a scale up, in the chaos of scale, when everything feels urgent, it feels easier to stay in motion. I don't want to stop now, I'll lose my momentum. But that's a short-term lens. sometimes the most productive thing that you can actually do is close your laptop, step away, and just reset the whole system. That's how we keep the clarity to make good decisions, to make good calls, to deliver high quality work. And that's how you stay the kind of leader and colleague who people want to follow. Decompressing relentlessly is how you keep showing up with energy instead of exhaustion. Leading from a place of energy versus exhaustion are two very different kinds of leader. Working from a place of energy versus exhaustion produce very different kinds of work. Your action item from today's episode is simple. This week, find one window, an hour, a day, even 10 minutes to decompress relentlessly. No phone, no work, no guilt. And when that mean little voice shows up and tells you that you're wasting time, you're not good enough, you haven't achieved enough to earn this break, invite it to sit quietly beside you. Maybe you even hand it a crochet hook. The truth is that the world and your team don't need the burnt out version of you. They need the clear-minded, fully rested, human version of you. So decompress relentlessly, force the pause, and play the long game on productivity. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Chaos of Scale. If you found value in today's episode, please share it with a colleague who might also need a reminder to slow down and decompress. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Andy Golding. This is The Chaos of Scale. And remember, business growth is messy, but the human side doesn't have to be. Until next time.